Monica Hayes thought the worst day of her life was the night her mother died. She was wrong, because years later, just when she finally found someone she could trust, someone she could love, someone who made her believe happiness was possible again, he disappeared, without a goodbye, without an explanation, without a trace. And what Monica discovered only days later would leave her facing a decision that would change not only her life, but the lives of generations yet to come. Most people told her to give up. Most people told her there was no future. Most people told her she was making a terrible mistake. But Monica refused to listen, because sometimes the hardest choices create the most extraordinary destinies, and the choice she was about to make would one day give the world a daughter named Clara, a daughter who would unknowingly carry her mother's pain, and eventually uncover a secret buried for more than 2 decades. This is the story of abandonment, courage, and a mother's promise that changed everything.
Monica stared at the pregnancy test for what felt like hours. Her hands trembled. Her heart raced. The room felt smaller with every breath she took. Pregnant. The word echoed endlessly in her mind. Just 17 years old, still in school, still trying to heal from a childhood filled with pain. And now this. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Not because she hated the baby. Not because she regretted what had happened between her and Philip, but because she was terrified. Terrified of the future. Terrified of making the wrong decision. Terrified that history might somehow repeat itself. For several minutes she simply sat there. Then she picked up her phone. Philip answered after the second ring. Monica? The moment she heard his voice, she began crying. Philip! Instantly, concern filled his voice. What's wrong? She couldn't say it. Not immediately. The words felt too heavy, too frightening. Finally, she whispered, I'm pregnant. Silence. Complete silence. For several seconds, neither of them spoke. Monica's heart sank. Then Philip finally answered. Are you sure? She nodded before realizing he couldn't see her. Yes. Another silence, a longer one, a more frightening one. I need to think. Those 4 words shattered something inside her. Think? She asked. Philip sounded panicked. We're still young. I know. This could ruin everything. The sentence struck Monica like a knife. Ruin everything? Was that what he thought of their child, their baby? She wanted him to comfort her, to tell her everything would be okay, to promise they would face it together. Instead, fear had taken over him, and she could hear it clearly. Philip, I'm sorry, he interrupted. I just need time. The call ended. Monica sat alone in her room. A terrible feeling settled in her chest. For the first time since meeting Philip, she felt something she never thought she would feel again. Abandoned. For the next 3 days, Monica barely slept. She called Philip repeatedly. No answer. She sent messages. No reply. She visited the small apartment where he lived. The landlord opened the door. Philip? The old man sighed. He moved out. Monica felt the blood drain from her face. What do you mean? He left yesterday. No. He packed everything. The world stopped. No. He said he had to leave town. Monica's knees nearly gave way. No explanation, no goodbye, no note, nothing. Just gone. The realization hit her all at once. Philip had run away. The one person she trusted, the one man she believed was different. The one man she had allowed into her heart had disappeared. Monica stumbled back toward her car, her vision blurred with tears. Inside her chest, years of buried pain erupted. Suddenly, she wasn't 17 anymore. She was 12 years old again, standing beside her mother's grave, watching her world collapse, watching someone she loved leave her forever. That night, she locked herself inside her room. She cried until she had no tears left. Then she stared at the ceiling, empty, broken, and angry, very angry, at Philip, at herself, at love. Most of all, at herself, because she had broken her promise. She had trusted a man, and once again, she was alone. The months that followed became the hardest period of Monica's life. News spread quickly. Friends whispered. Neighbors judged. Relatives criticized. Everyone had advice. You're too young. Have an abortion. Start over. Forget this ever happened. But Monica refused. Every single time. The baby inside her had done nothing wrong. Why should the child pay for the mistakes of adults? One afternoon, her aunt sat across from her. Monica, think carefully. I have. You'll destroy your future. No, you'll lose everything. Monica slowly shook her head. I already lost everything years ago. The room became silent. Her aunt had no answer, because Monica was right. She had already survived the worst pain imaginable. The death of her mother, the imprisonment of her father, the betrayal of Philip. If she could survive all that, she could survive this too. The pregnancy was difficult. There were nights she cried herself to sleep. Nights she wished someone would simply hold her hand and tell her she wasn't alone. But no one came. Every doctor's appointment, every hospital visit, every moment of fear she faced alone. Yet strangely, the baby
Lord,
became her
help
source
me.
of strength. Whenever she felt hopeless, she would place a hand on her stomach and somehow keep going. Meanwhile, her 18th birthday arrived, the day her inheritance was finally released. Suddenly, she became one of the youngest millionaires in the country. Properties, businesses, investments, millions of dollars. The lawyers congratulated her. Financial advisors celebrated. Reporters wanted interviews. But Monica couldn't care less, because there was only one thing on her mind. The baby, her baby. Money could wait. Success could wait. Everything could wait. She simply wanted her child to arrive safely. The labor lasted nearly 12 exhausting hours. Monica thought she was going to die. The pain came in waves, stronger, harder, more relentless. The doctors encouraged her. The nurses comforted her. But there was one empty chair beside her bed. A chair that should have been occupied. Philip's chair. Several times she caught herself looking toward it. Several times she remembered he wasn't coming. The realization hurt almost as much as the contractions. Then finally, a cry. A beautiful cry. The cry of a newborn child. Monica burst into tears. The nurse carefully placed the baby in her arms. The tiny girl opened her eyes. For a moment, time stood still. Monica stared at her daughter and immediately fell in love. The baby wrapped tiny fingers around Monica's hand, and Monica's heart completely melted. What would you like to name her? The nurse asked. Monica smiled through her tears. Clara. The nurse nodded. She's beautiful. Monica gently kissed Clara's forehead. You'll never be abandoned. More tears flowed. I promise. The nurse quietly stepped away, allowing mother and daughter a moment alone. Monica looked down at her sleeping baby. Then she made a decision that would shape Clara's entire future. If you had been a boy, she paused, you would have reminded me of him. Fresh tears rolled down her cheeks. But you're a girl, she smiled softly. My daughter, my family, my everything. Then her expression slowly changed. Pain returned. The old wounds reopened. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the abandonment. Everything came rushing back. And in that emotional moment, Monica unknowingly planted a dangerous seed. A seed that would one day grow inside Clara. She whispered, never trust men. The sleeping baby knew nothing of the promise, but Monica repeated it anyway, again and again and again. Years passed. The young mother transformed into a powerful businesswoman. Her wealth multiplied. Her companies expanded. Her reputation grew. Yet despite all her success, one question haunted her every night. Why did Philip leave? She never got an answer, not once. 24 years later, Monica stood inside her penthouse office looking at a framed photograph. A photograph of Clara, now a brilliant lawyer, successful, beautiful, independent, exactly the woman Monica wanted her to become, or so she believed. A knock interrupted her thoughts. Her assistant entered. Ma'am, your daughter just won another major case. Monica smiled proudly. That's my girl. The assistant hesitated. There's something else. What is it? A man came looking for you today. Monica's smile disappeared. Her stomach tightened. What man? The assistant handed her a small card. Monica looked at the name. The card slipped from her fingers. Her face turned pale. Her heart nearly stopped, because written on the card were two words she had not seen in 24 years. Philip Carter. The man who abandoned her. The man she never stopped hating. The man she never stopped loving.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and put down your thoughts in the comments. From Epic Stories TV, we love you.